Yo ho, motherfuckers, it's a pirate's life for me, ho! I did like a half hip-hop, half pirate thing there, and there was cursing involved. I've been told I curse on this show, maybe a little too much, and to that I say, fuck you, baby! Can't keep, I am 40 fucking years old and I'll curse if I want to, god damn it. This is the cursing hammer. No, this is the metal hammer of doom. And I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified. And you should be too. Mr. Mark Rattledge. And tonight, we are not joined by the middle coop, Robert Cooper. He's getting laid. Oh, sexy girlfriend. Who needs a soundboard when you've got the mandated soundboard, Mr. Mark Rattledge? But I am not alone tonight. I am, of course, joined by the third chair, who is being promoted to second chair tonight, as we take to the high seas, yo-ho, yar, he, fiddly-dee, however it goes. He's no scurvy wench. He's no keyhole. Walk the plank.
He's no pirate reference.
He's no pirate lingo. He's my good buddy in the third chair. He's the disapproving dad and the host of source material in his own right. I call him Mr. Jesse Starcher. Yo-ho, Jesse Starcher.
Yo-ho, yar, har, fiddly, diddly-dee. Wow, let me tell you, I cannot wait. Are we in the midst of Pirates Week? Is that what this is? Is that what this is? Is that what we're calling this?
This is Pirate Week Part 2, all things aquatic.
Oh, that's right. We're setting sail on the high seas. All right, and man, oh man, have you brought a gem of an album to talk about here tonight? I want to ask, how did you come across this? How did you know? That's all I want to know is how did you know, Mark Rattledge?
Well, I haven't even introduced the album yet. Tonight we are going to be talking about the latest and greatest in pirate metal, the debut album of North Carolina's North Kakalaki, Rumahoy, the Triumph of Piracy, baby dolls. We're going to talk about it tonight. We love our pirate metal here on the Metal Hammer of Doom. Last year, Ailstorm was the number one album of 2018 as ranked by the Metal Hammer of Doom. Is that correct?
It's top 3 for sure.
Yeah. I know it was like that one and I think Creator and something else. But we do enjoy our folk metal, and we especially love our pirate metal. And I honestly don't know how I figured out. I discovered Rumahoy. I peruse, I obsess over, I look at daily the Wikipedia for forthcoming metal albums. I'm always on Blabbermouth or any one of the metal websites, always looking for drop dates for new albums. And somewhere out there in time, I came across this Rumahoy that came out on February 9th. And I said, this has to happen.
Yep.
Rumahoy, hell yeah, new pirate metal, yes please. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight. And that's really all there is to that story. Now, I happen to have the rumahoy.xyz, because why not, their website, and it goes a little something like this, Jesse Starcher. The sound of a battle being fought on a far-off ocean, the smell of gunpowder from a pirate's duel, the excitement of the quest for treasure in the days of heritage. These are the senses brought to mind and embodied by Rumahoy, the greatest pirate metal band in all of the Caribbean Sea. Formed in the ancient North Carolinian village of Ocracoke. Sure. Rumahoy. Ackercock.
Ackercock.
Ackercock. Rumahoy. If there's another relative listening to this podcast, I'm just going to go ahead and apologize now. It's only going to get worse.
Let's tag them in it when we share the episode. Every family member that we know, please listen.
Yep, this is only getting worse. Rumahoy first set sail in Why Should It Goes Well in 2012 when vocalist Captain Yarrface was experimenting with the musical heritage of his ancestors. He quickly assembled a full lineup for the band drawn from diverse parts of the country, which hand-picked members chosen for their seafaring abilities and their thirst for rum and treasure. Joined by Bootsman Walk the Plank on guitar, Cabin Boy Treasure Quest on bass, and Swashbuckling Pete on drums, Captain Yarrface has just one message for everyone. Welcome to the sea.
That's good stuff. That is good stuff right there.
Yes, it is.
Man, this band is unique. All right. Now we've talked Ailstorm plenty of times on here. So when we jumped into this album, I didn't know what exactly to expect. Pirate metal. Last year, I think we had. Oh man, and I asked you guys this a few weeks back. The pirate band that we talked about that was more upon the serious level. And I cannot remember the name of the band again.
Swashbuckle?
No. Are you serious? Is that the name of a band?
Yeah, I've actually seen Swashbuckle play, and I looked this up because I knew I was going to talk about this. When it comes to pirate metal, there are bands that really go out of their way to sound like pirates, like Ailstorm. Despite the keytar and all of that, they bring a folk element to the music. They try to sound like a pirate. They really get into gimmick. Then there's bands that they like Swashbuckle who dress like pirate and sing songs that thematically would go into pirate metal, but it just sounds like death metal. Here, let me go ahead and give you an example. So, and I can do this now, Jesse.
Yeah, buddy. I am not your Yahoo. Why do I call YouTube Yahoo? I'm not your YouTube Live anymore.
Yes, you're not my YouTube slave boy. I can do this by myself. Let me go ahead and play some Swashbuckle for you, and you'll see what I mean, like how different it is, and it's not really as fun as what I would like to call like traditional Ailstorm type pirate metal. Let's go ahead and bring this up here. Swashbuckle. Ever hear of Swashbuckle? Probably not,
Never.
right?
No.
Okay. All right. You'll have to forgive me. The computer's running a little slow. Come on.
The band that I was thinking of, we covered last year on the Metal Hammer of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
I just cannot remember the name of the album because it was pirate metal, but it was like really, it was more serious. It definitely wasn't Ailstorm.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we didn't cover it. I don't think it was called Swashbuckle. It was something else like Raise Bags or.
No, it was. That wasn't really pirate metal either. You're talking about Running Wild.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do some toggling here.
Toggle.
Toggle. All right. Let's go ahead and hit the play button. So that's Cruise Ship Terror by Swashbuckle. Cruise Ship Terror by Swashbuckle. Jesse, what'd you think of that?
Okay. Well, that was some heavy, heavy stuff. That sounded pretty damn serious. Did they keep saying party boat, party boat?
Yes, they did. Party boat, party boat.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can tell you I've never listened to those guys before, but that was pretty head banging. That was filled with some head banging.
Yeah, that was very thrashy, very death metal sounding, and that's Swashbuckle for you. But like they're like very high on the gimmick. The music doesn't really reflect that though. The lyrics might, but the lyrics don't really reflect it. Rumahoy really, just like Ailstorm, really embraces the whole pirate metal gimmick, sound and all. And so that's what we're going to hear. And I'll tell you, this album just gets better and better as time.
Repeat listens, yes.
Yeah, when I first heard it, and I like, we're gonna hear the title track. We're gonna hear the first track here, Ahoy, in just a minute. And when I first heard it, I was like, okay, this is okay, and it would get better. And then you got into Forest Party, for which there's a video. Then the Haitian Slam, and then we were fucking off to the races, baby. That we'll get to it one by one, but I'll tell you, there's a handful of tracks here that I've had repeat listens, and me dancing around the house and forced dances with the children. You ever do that, Jesse? You ever grab one of your children and force them into a dance with you?
Oh yeah, just did that tonight. As a matter of fact, I can't remember which song off this album we were listening to, but I grabbed a hold of Colton and we were getting down, and then he was like, "Leave me alone, I'm playing my Legos." All right, man. Sorry.
All right, let's go ahead and hear our first track here. This is going to be Ahoy. All right, let's try that again. Ahoy!
Aboard that good ship Rumahoy, we'll find our destiny. To my right, the bootsman, walk the plank, his name. He likes to plunder wenches, he's just a bit insane. To my left, in treasure quest, cabin boy, my rank. You better do just what he said, or else you'll walk the plank. I'll back behind his piece, swashbuckling king of rum. He likes to drink a lot of ale while beating on his drum. Over the oceans, over the seas, we are the pirates, we do what we please. Sail from the darkness and into the night, questing for treasure our wrong given right. Yeah-ha-ha-ha! Ahoy!
All right. That was Ahoy by Rumahoy, and it's a good first start here on this album, The Triumph of Piracy. They're introducing the band, they're introducing the sound. You get a very good sampling of the gimmick. What did you think, Jesse?
Yeah, I can't do anything but echo exactly what you said. My notes were, this is a perfect jumping on point for this band and for this album. If you were a comic book collector and you were trying to figure out what issue do I need to understand what the hell is going on with Rumahoy, I would say you start with track 1 off of the I'm about to say Privacy. The Triumph of Privacy. My friends, that ship has sailed long ago.
Now there's no privacy here on the Metal Hammer of Doom.
None. The Triumph of Piracy. I'd say start there, because that one would give you your characters. That's going to give you what you're in for. It's going to give you the plot. And it's a perfect start to this album. I really love it. It's fun, piratey goodness. It's a great track. I mean, man, I'm glad that this was what they decided to put first. Okay, it's logical, number one. I'm glad, because if you look at a lot of this album, there's not a whole lot of logic to it, but they knew what they were doing and putting Ahoy right in the front. But it is a track that hooks you, and I loved it. This is one of my favorite ones off of this album, just because it's fun. You can dance to it, sing along.
Let me ask you an important question here, though, because I'll tell you, I initially was a little cold to this particular track because I was not a fan of the vocals. Now, now the vocals have since grown on me. But did you have that reaction too? I guess you have, because you just said yup. But I got that swashbuckle feel. It's why I played swashbuckle first, because I'm going to keep referencing that, and I wanted you to get at least a flavor of what it is I'm talking about when I'm saying, see, if you lean towards the swashbuckle side, I'm not going to be as big a fan as if you lean towards the Ailstorm side. I like my vocals, especially for a gimmicky band like this, I like my vocals to be a little bit cleaner and a little less, you know, less swashbuckly. And they started off in that direction. Now, the vocals will change throughout this album, and for the better. But this first one was a little off-putting, I gotta be honest.
The one that you first shared with me that I listened was Netflix and Yarr, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But immediately I noticed how the vocals I was like, man, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I really don't. I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it. Here's the thing, and one of the reviews that I read earlier today kind of supports now how I feel about it, because it's clearly grown on me. The album's grown on you. The vocals are not a problem for me anymore. And the review said that if you were going to take a pirate and shove him in a band, this dude is probably what you're going to get when you think of a pirate trying to sing or trying to do some metal. So I've grown to like, and I've actually grown to love the way this guy sounds in this band. It doesn't stick out as a sore thumb as it originally did. So at first, yes, but it only took probably maybe one other listen after this for me to go, okay, yeah, there's much more to this band for me to love than, the way his vocals kind of turned me off initially. So I'm down.
Down with the clown, good sir. All right. No, this is not a clown band. This is a fire band, see? The difference.
wrong gimmick.
All right, let's go ahead and move towards track 2 here on the Metal Hammer of Doom, the Rumahoy, the Triumph of Piracy. This is Quest for Heritage. All right, Quest for Heritage, baby. Jesse Starcher. What an epic song. That had a lot of great elements to it, that one. One, the vocals changed. It was a more raspy, sort of overkill type sound. You know, it's a little thrashy, a little deathy, but not that throaty type singing that we got in the first track. This one, little raspier, but you know, you had that. I guess, you know, the keyboards in the background. It really gave you that epic feel. This is the kind of pirate metal we like.
Yeah, the vocals. Here's the problem. I cannot find enough on this band for me to try and like figure out if this is a different guy or if it's the same guy doing the vocals. My initial reaction is like, okay, they brought somebody else, or somebody else is stepping forward and doing vocals here. It could very well, man. I tell you what, I don't know what the deal is, but I can't speak tonight. Very well could be the same dude. I just, you know, there's no way for me to go out there and find out. I've dug a little bit into what's out there on the internet for these guys, and there isn't really a whole lot. It seems like these dudes are flying under the radar. So I don't know if the vocal change is due to it's a different singer or if it's the same guy. But regardless, yeah, I'm down with the vocal still. This isn't something that scares me away. As for the synth in the back, man, okay, it's hard for me to listen to this band without comparing what I hold as the pinnacle of pirate metal right now, which is Alestorm, and compare the two, and you look for similarities. One of the things that I remember clearly in some of the Alestorm stuff that we've listened to, every once in a while they'll have a song that has like sort of a chiptune element to it. It may start out in it, or may just have a tiny little segment that kind of has some chiptune, almost like video game-esque sound, song part of the song, as part of the song. So that whole background, I don't know why, but it seriously reminds me of, and I doubt you're going to get this reference, Mark, and that's okay. Some other listeners out there will, but it reminds me of like a Final Fantasy fight scene.
Okay, so I've played Final Fantasy VII. Thank you very much.
All right. That's what it reminds me of. When I hear that, I think I can see the guys lined up on the left hand side, and our good guys, our heroes lined up on the right, and they're fighting, and you hear that in the background. I don't know why, but I get that from this particular song. So, but yeah, this one's a fun one. Quest for Heritage. You'll notice a lot of themes, and it almost borders repetitive, or maybe even tips the scales to yes, it does get repetitive. Quests become quite repetitive here throughout this album. The word Yarr is used quite a bit, and of course, you know, ahoy. That you'll hear that quite a few times. But I'll tell you right now, even though that those elements are there, and sometimes they may feel overused, it does not take away from this album, in my opinion. And those are all pirate related words. All right, pirate reference. Get plenty of those tonight on the album. But yeah, Quest for Heritage is a fun song.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next track here. This one is quite a dandy little ditty. This one is called Forest Party.
With me, my pirate friend, to
You know, let me tell you something, Jesse Starcher. You know you've got a successful song when it invokes in your mind hobbits dancing on tables and sloshing around, sloshing around glasses of beer. You know, I wanted to say this with the others, with the Quest for Heritage, but it definitely goes for Forest Party. There's an element of battle metal to this pirate metal album. You know, this song in particular had a lot of folk elements to it. You know, this definitely was screaming Corplaclani or Fin Troll, you know, that sort of thing. But it also had that battle metal element to it, especially the last one. This one was definitely leaning more towards, and this is common in this sub genre of metal, that like tavern shanty, that tavern sing-along type metal. I dug this. I you know, especially when it starts to pick up and you get to the chorus. You know, this was very danceable, and it was definitely evoked images of hobbits dancing on tables and beer being sloshed about. Ale being sloshed about.
Ale, that's right, ale. This is my favorite off of this album, I think. I know it's not yours, but it is definitely mine. And it's still a good song. It sounds like you enjoyed the song as well. But I'll tell you right now, if there is any more whistleable, how's that? Whistleable.
Whistle.
Yeah, if you can whistle along with it, or it compels you to whistle along with it, that is a great tune. And it looks like, just from what I could see on Spotify, they released Ahoy first in 2017, and then they released this one this year, Forest Party, and they knew what they had on their hands, because this is a great song. It gets in your head, and it's a fun one. Just like you said, you could see him hanging about and just drinking some ale and having a good time. Now, one of the things I noticed, because I didn't watch it. Yes, sir.
Forest Party is the number one most popular Rumahoy song on Spotify at almost 60,000 listens.
Yeah, buddy.
The next one, the next one doesn't even come close. It's Ahoy with 13,000, and then Pirate Ship is in third place with a little over 9,000.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, I think Forest Party's a lot. It's a lot of raucous. Banty about partying going on. It's the video itself. I mean, that is all the video is just these guys drinking on. It's almost not done well at all. The video is not done well at all. I don't know if you watched it or not.
It's very guerrilla.
It is yes. And these guys, I'm sure that they perform this way, because every picture I've seen, they wear ski masks, which is just unique. Number one.
Well, because they're pirates.
Well, of course. They're pirates. They've got to wear ski masks.
Yeah, they're in their raiding party gear.
Gotcha. It's you just don't see that often. They do the whole video that way with their face masks, or with their face ski masks on, drinking beers. One girl's wearing a goblin mask, who apparently is the goblin who's just come to drink some ale. And she attempts to drink some ale through the mask. Doesn't go so well. But it's they're just having a fun time. These guys are so tongue-in-cheek. That was the phrase that was used quite a bit throughout what I've read about them. They're tongue-in-cheek. You do not take these guys seriously. And they're out to have a good time. And this represents the good time that they're having. So, Forest Party all the way, baby.
Indeed. All right. Jesse Starcher, you mamby-pamby, you you wuss, I know you hang out on the side of the pit. You do a little push. You do a little push pitting, a little elbow in, a little pinch and squeal. You don't get in there hardcore. You don't fuck it up in the mosh pit. Let me tell you something, Jesse. Right now, on the Metal Hammer of Doom, I'm pushing you in the pit, baby. We're about to do the Haitian Slam. Jesse. Oh, Jesse, did you feel it? We just did the Haitian Slam, baby.
Ah, my goodness. I got pirate all over me.
I'm drippings with pirate. Oh, my God, I love that song. I'm in my computer chair. I'm doing this show. I'm toggling. And I'm carrying on. I heard the Haitian Slam, and I was literally I got up and I started skanking around the living room, baby. I started a circle pit with myself. I was doing the Haitian Slam.
Furniture broken. Wife wakes up the next morning. What are you doing? What have you been doing to this house?
I was skanking and grooving. I skanked and grooved into my children's room and punched one of them right in the face. And skanked on out again. They didn't know what was going on. They ain't hardcore. They ain't nothing.
Mark Radulich attacking kids while they're sleeping.
That's the
yes.
That's the
proud
Haitian,
father.
That's the Haitian Slam, baby. If you don't know, now you do.
Apparently so. Keep one eye open when you go to sleep tonight, baby.
Oh my God!
The Haitian Slam coming for you.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go into work tomorrow. I'm going to be skanking down the hallways doing the Haitian Slam. They don't know. They don't know nothing. Love that song.
Yeah. Now this is a. You can feel the Haitian elements throughout the song, the steel drums. That's the first thing I noticed when I heard this song. They clearly that's what they lead with. Mm-hmm. It makes you think it's something that's going to be very ethnic, and it's good.
Very Caribbean.
It's fun.
Yeah. No, there's a lot that I wish. Sometimes with these albums, the lyrics aren't available quick enough. So we just have to do without them. But there are some funny ass lyrics in this song. I'd rather be shooting my gun. Who made this brew? Oh my God! I will be. I'm not putting together a playlist like I did last year because we ended up not really using it. We focus on stuff we didn't get a chance to cover rather than kind of going back over things. But I will tell you, if I were so far this year, the Haitian Slam is last year's Fucked with an Anchor.
That That's nice. Yeah, I mean,
it's last year's World War Now. It's last year's wasted too much time. What did I waste too much time? Fucking you. That's what I wasted too much time doing. Good old Steel Panther.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you immediately told us this was the jam like 3 times.
Have I mentioned
the jam.
The jam? Well, it is.
It is the jam. Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, as far as compared to the rest of the album, this one's probably number 2, number 3 on my list for favorite songs off of here. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more you could say other than just
it's so good.
Let it rip and just have a good time.
That is, I mean, I was making a joke out of it, but honestly, I really want to see them in concert now just to dance to that. Like, there are certain bands where I'm like, that's the draw for me to go see somebody live is I want to get up and dance. I just want to dance, Jesse Stodger. I just want to dance.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I think about every time I say that. I know I'm doing the bit, but it also reminds me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where the king is talking to the prince, and he was like, "You're going to be king one day," and he's doing the whole. I don't know if you've ever seen the Holy Grail, but it's the bit where he's like, "I built the first castle in a swamp and it sank, and I built the second, and the third one burned down, but the fourth one stayed up." You know, and and he's trying to get the prince to to do whatever, and the prince is like, "But I just want to sing," and he's like, "No, we're not doing any of that." and later on, he finally does sing, much to the king's chagrin. The king's chagrin. But every time I do the "I just want to dance" bit, that's what I think of. That in the history of the world, like, do you want to be thrown out of this army? Do you want to be? Do you want to dance?
I'm gonna have to watch these at some point. At least then I could get half the references that are made on this show.
You've never seen History of the World?
I have not. Monty Python. Okay, was it affiliated with Monty Python? I haven't seen it.
You're fucking all kinds of things up. Okay, History of the World Monty Python and the Holy Grail is obviously a Monty Python feature.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The History of the World Part 1 is Mel Brooks.
Oh, see? Apparently, I haven't seen that either. Believe it or not.
I would suggest commentary for either one, but honestly, if you're not listening, you don't get the movie. Those are movies you really have to watch and pay attention to. It's actually why I haven't really enjoyed watching them with big crowds of people, because what I determined is no one shuts the fuck up long enough to hear the jokes.
I was going to say, it's all quotes, because everybody quotes that shit.
Yeah.
And yes, good old our friend Justin Thomas. I've probably seen that damn bunny from attacking, what is it called? The holy hand grenade.
Yes.
See, I know these references, and I've never seen the damn show.
Okay.
Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Internet.
I'll tell you what, Jesse. I haven't. Now, normally the show is called Because You Made Me, but
because I made you.
But we might need to do Because I Made You. We just might need. I might have to have you watch one of these movies and just do an hour talking about it, because they're so funny, and yeah, they definitely inspire a lot of my own humor and a lot of bits on this show. The History of the World Part 1 is probably one of my favorite movies of all time, from the comedy genre at least. All right,
duly noted.
All right, so this next one I was a little slow, a little cold to enjoying. It took me a little while to really get into it, but I was listening to it on the way home tonight. I really started to dig it. It's a great song. This is Huffman, Pirate King.
This is a pirate, brave and true. He lives so far away. But when it comes to Pirate's Quest, he'll be there any day. Drinking rum and eating meat is what he likes to do. But if you cross him, be afraid he'll chop your head in two. He lives in Lincoln, Illinois. Wenches for men and for the boys. He takes his cheesecake seriously. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. He's a king. He's the one who rules the seas. He's a man. He's a pirate. We want to be. He's a hero. He's a fighter. Brave and true. He is the king of the pirates. Huffman, Huffman. He's the mighty pirate king. Huffman, Huffman. For his glory we will sing. Huffman, Huffman. He's the mighty pirate king. Huffman, Huffman. For his glory we will sing.
You know, every time I hear that song, I don't hear Huffman, I hear Hawkman. And then I think the death of Hawkman. And then I want to go back to Ollie's.
I want to know who the hell Huffman is. Again, the internet is failing us so bad because there's not enough coverage on Rumahoy to explain what this fucking inside joke is. I want to know who the hell Huffman is. I want to know the inspiration on this song. And listen, I just typed in Huffman.
He is the king of the pirates.
Apparently so. I typed in Huffman the Pirate King, Lincoln, Illinois, because that's where he's from. And there is, okay, I've got Huffman the Pirate King, Rumahoy, but missing is Lincoln, Illinois in that reference because it has it crossed out at the bottom of the Google search. So this, again, this is an absurd song. It's funny and it's a good time listening to it. But every time I hear it, I'm like, I want to know more. And it's bad because, we get so many details about Huffman here. All right. Huffman takes his cheesecake seriously. Okay.
Like you do.
Why does he take his cheesecake seriously? He's a chef, obviously. There's mention about how he fixes meals.
Wait, stop for a second. Don't you take your cheesecake seriously?
I do. I love my cheesecake.
Okay.
I do.
It seems like a weird question to ask. Like, why wouldn't you take the cheesecake seriously?
I do like my cheesecake. If somebody messes around with my cheesecake, I might get a little upset.
You might do the Haitian slam on him.
Yeah, you'd be ready for it. But no, he's a chef. Apparently, he makes food. He's strong enough to punch somebody's face in half, if I remember correctly. That's an interesting image. But yeah, and you throw your ass overboard.
The pirates.
It's good stuff. It's kind of like one of those, almost like Weird Al-esque type of deals where it's just so absurd and goofy. If you haven't made the mistake of taking them seriously the first 4 tracks. When we hit Huffman, you can just go ahead and throw that shit out the window. There's no reason to try and take these guys seriously. They're talking about a king of pirates in a landlocked fucking state. Illinois is not bordering any ocean as far as I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to figure it out, and then I was like, you know what? See, that's more your thing. You're like, what are these guys saying? What does it all mean? And I'm just like, this is gonna be they can dance to. Yay! Like I said,
wait till we get to the last song where I actually attempted to tweet somebody to try and figure out some shit. I'll tell that story when we get to it.
Okay. Before we get to this next one, have you ever listened to one of my all-time top 20 favorite bands that are no longer a thing? Actually, let me ask you a question before all that. Have you this is my thing that I'm obsessed with. I actually wanted to start the show with this, but I had forgotten it until just now. Have you ever seen the video from a few years ago of Korn and Slipknot performing Sabotage?
No, you shared that, but I still haven't watched it. So
okay,
tell me.
All right, so there's nothing to tell, Jesse Starcher. You just have to know that this is the best thing ever, and we have to...
You know, guys, we put together a little special...
We have to hear it right now, Jesse. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I'm hijacking the show because you have to hear Slipknot guesting with Korn as they perform Sabotage live in London.
So thing just for this show tonight with our brothers in Slipknot. Why don't you crazy looking motherfuckers come out here and let's do this shit!
Are you ready? Live! Singing it. I know you're playing it. I'm gonna sit and fight this war again. Let's go in there, rockin' with a big flip. Cause your place no fuck, ain't so big to click. I'm addicted, back on the wild. I got this fucking gold on my side. Oh my god, it's a mirage. I'll tell you now, it's sabotage.
Scream, motherfucker! You want Korn? Come out!
Stop! Don't listen up, cause you can't say nothing. You're not around with the bush in your butt. I'm out and I'm gone. I tell you now, I keep it on and on.
Come on! Can't hear you!
Just watch you see you might not get like a back. So don't you get sick yet. Living on days until ever ride. I'll tell you now, it's sabotage. You better make us fucking feel it out there.
Yeah. What'd you think of that, Jesse?
Dun-dun.
Dun-dun.
Yeah, that's a good cover, dude.
Yeah,
that's a real good cover.
Yeah, I only played a portion of it. Go back and listen to the whole thing when you have a second. Just watch. If nothing else, watch the video. How do you get the job in Slipknot where you don't perform? You don't play an instrument. You don't contribute to the music in any way, but you get to wear a mask and jump around on stage like a retard. Can I be the Slipknot retard? That I will quit my job. I will leave my family if I can just be the retard in Slipknot. If I could be JoJo the Monkey Boy in Slipknot, I would be very happy.
Where are these guys from? I can't remember where Slipknot's from, but I could just imagine walking
Iowa.
around. You walk around their town, and there's a you see the flyer on the telephone pole. It says, looking for the Slipknot retard. And there's like pull-offs so you can call the number.
If you are interested in being our personal retard, if you can be a cross between a rabid chimpanzee and Flava Flav, you're hired.
Done. You come and show up. Auditions.
I just want you to watch this video and look at the guy in the gas mask and think JoJo the Monkey Boy.
Jonathan Davis. Did he do anything in there? I was listening for him, other than I think I may have heard him yell like a couple times. But
yeah, it's mostly the singer from Slipknot,
Corey.
But he's kind of like there, and he kind of like he joins in on a couple of lyrics, but for the most part, it's just the singer from Slipknot. It was a great voice, and it's so good on that song. Like, it fits really, really well. They did an excellent job. So, two things. One, how dangerous is it that with this new setup that I can just YouTube at any time during the show?
It's very damn scary.
My ADHD is going to derail a lot of shows.
That I can see happening for sure. For sure.
The second thing I was going to ask you is, have you ever heard 3 Inches of Blood from Canada do Kill the Orcs?
This has been discussed. I've heard 3 Inches of Blood. I don't know if we played Kill the Orcs on here or not. they've come up before though in our discussions because me, you, and Coop were talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember what we listened to.
Well, before we kill the trolls, we have to kill the orcs.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right. It's actually called Destroy the Orcs, but let's go ahead. Hang on. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Yeah, this is actually the song. This is actually the song that got me into the band. So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up here. Again, this is before we kill the trolls, we got to destroy the orcs. Jesse. Are you ready to kill the trolls now that we've destroyed the orcs?
Yeah, we're obviously participating in a bloodbath here, so we'll move on from the orcs to the trolls.
All right. Here we go, ladies and germs. This is back to Rumahoy. We're going to kill the trolls. All right, Jesse, let me ask you a question. Have you played this for your kids yet? For your sons? I doubt you played this for your daughter. Let's specify. Have you played this for Caleb?
Kill the trolls. He might have heard it in passing, but no, I've never played it for him.
Have you played any of Rumahoy for your kids?
Yeah, Colton come downstairs. I made him listen to a few things, and well, he danced around a little bit with me. I don't remember Kill the Trolls being on though.
Okay, so a couple of things about this. One, I was playing this in the car on Saturday when I was taking Jonas to basketball, and you know he likes pirates, and sometimes he even tolerates my music as long as I don't play it too loud. He has very sensitive ears, and I asked him like, "What did you think of the pirate music?" And he was like, "You know, Daddy, there's good pirates and there's bad pirates, and bad pirates are scary, and those were definitely bad pirates." All right.
I love how there are good pirates and there are bad pirates.
Yes, good pirates save people, bad pirates are in Rumahoy. The logic of almost 4-year-olds.
That's awesome.
So he's not a fan. as I thought about this song, first of all, it's a fun song. A little weird that it would be like, I don't necessarily associate trolls with pirates, but whatever. I guess it can't all be Nancy the Tavern Wench, and rum and treasure. They got to come up with some new stuff. But I don't know if your children are into the Troll movie that came out last year.
My daughter is. I know she's watched it a few times.
Okay. So, yeah, my kids are into it, too. They saw the movie. My wife brought them. I refused. But my wife brought them to see the music. Now, they love the Trolls. One of my ex-coworkers, was actually trying to convince me of the virtue of the Troll movies. Some enterprising young person, and it's going to be a young person because what old person would be bothered with this sort of thing? But some enterprising young person needs to cut a video of those trolls being massacred to this song.
I see what goes through your head, sir.
And then send it to my children.
There you go. Traumatize.
And then
kids.
let's do the Haitian slam.
Oh, indeed. After you punch them while they're sleeping.
That's right.
Oh, goodness. Well, okay, for Kill the Trolls here, there are a couple elements of this song that stand out. Like, right in the middle of the song, all of a sudden the vocals drop, and we get, like, this weird synth / chiptune thing again. And then all of a sudden, Samuel L. Pirateson jumps in, and we have
oh, that's right.
the rendition of
I didn't let it play long enough. Hang on. You know what? Hang on. The nice thing about what we got going on here is I can go back to where I stopped and keep playing it. So hang on. Let's let it play a little bit further so we know everyone can hear what you're talking about. And then I still think I'm within fair use because I stopped the song and I'm still only playing a portion of it.
That's right. That's what my lawyer told me.
That's right. Our lawyer of the partnership, Dewey, Swindle, and Howe. Here we go. So let's keep playing.
I went to the tavern to drink some rum. It was full of trolls, so I shot them with my gun. Trolls in the ceiling, and trolls in the floor. Trolls in the walls, and trolls at the door. Alright, you pirate sluts! I've had it with these motherfucking trolls and this motherfucking tavern! It's time to kill the trolls! Kill the trolls! Fight the trolls!
Kill the trolls. That's great stuff.
That is. All right. I think Robert wants to get in here. Let's do a little Skype action here. Let's add. That's more options. How do I add to the call? You called me. Can you add him?
I did call you, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, I think I can. Hold on a second here. Let me add people to this call. His name is Robert. Oh, shit. Damn it. What's his... He's gonna have to give me his name again. Why didn't I add him to contacts before? I did, didn't I?
Hang
you
on.
son of a bitch!
Hang on. He is...
Son of a bitch!
You know what? Just message him real quick and ask him what his Skype name is.
I'll do that. Kill the trolls.
Kill the trolls.
Destroy all the orcs. Destroy all humans.
What did you think of that, by the way?
That's we've heard that before.
Okay, you have,
I remember.
okay.
I do recall.
Okay, he's the Metal Coop, by the way.
Okay.
The Metal Coop.
Yeah, I recall us talking about that. I wish I could remember what it was in regards to, though.
Oh, who knows?
Because I knew we had talked about it. Is it all one word or spaced out?
Nope, it's one word.
Okay. I cannot... Let me go over here. Oh, stop putting a space where you don't need to put the space. That's what you need to do. Search Skype for that. There he is. All right, here we go. I'm going to try this. Add the contacts.
This is all very exciting.
Yeah, they're going to love this one. It's a great episode. Great episode you guys had there. I especially loved the part where you guys were adding a guy to the call, and he was describing it every step you took.
You know what's funny is I could have paused the show while we did all this.
Oh, you're kidding. All right, hold on a second. Let me try. I'm going to try this. If I hang up, I'll call back in.
Okay.
Oh, well. Nope. I sent him a contact request.
You want me to try adding him?
Yeah, if you can go down there and hit the plus button, and then see if there's...
I got it.
Okay. Oh, well, there it is.
Okay, I got him.
Hey! There we go.
Okay, well, he should be ringing now. Hopefully he'll actually pick up. Coop. Pick up. Probably should tell him, hey, is your Skype on? Is your
I imagine it is. He was trying to
Skype
contact.
On. This is fun. Okay, so yeah, that failed because I'm sure his Skype isn't up.
Find us a song. Play us a song while we're doing this.
Okay. While we're doing this, let me go ahead and
get something out of your the depths of
oh,
Mark Radulich.
Well, shit. I wish
I
should have saved corn for that. God damn it. He's driving home. Terrific.
Okay, so he needs the number then, and
it's the number that hasn't worked ever. But here, I'll text it to him, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I tried doing this. I tried doing this at one point. I got to actually get rid of this number because it didn't work when I tried it. But maybe it'll work for him. Let's see. I'm sending him the number, and then we're just going to move forward here with the show. That'll teach him to have a date.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead.
Bastage.
You bastages. Let's go ahead and what I wanted to say about this before we jumped into it is, so no, I just sent it to him. I look up, Robert. Anyway,
pull over and look and read.
So anyway, this next one I wanted to love. This is actually the first song I learned about with Rumahoy, and it had such a funny title to me that I became obsessed with this band instantly without even actually hearing a single note of their music. It's it's the second longest song on the album. It's hysterical to me, but you'll listen to it and then you'll see what I mean by I wanted to love it, but it's not as good as the actual title. The song itself isn't as good as the title is. The title is hilarious. The title of the song is, and I have been chasing people around telling them about it. This is Netflix and Yarr.
Oh my.
A long time ago, I lived in a land filled up with treasure and yarn. Pirates would quest all over the seas, sailing their pirate ships far. Now those same seas are barren and bare.
boy.
Oh, boy.
Netflix and Yarr.
Oh, that was a travesty.
That was weird. Like, so did you have to call me?
Yeah, you called in, and I was trying to get us all together, and we separated, and we didn't, and then I lost you, and then but you're here now. That's all that matters. Hello, how are you?
That's right.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Did you get laid?
No, she's waiting till marriage.
Terrific.
For Jesus.
She's waiting for the Jesus.
Yes, she is. It was weird because, like, I didn't plan on not doing the podcast. She's like, hey, you can come with me and we can just walk around the park, walk my dog. I'm like, sure. And then at the end, she's like, you want to get a drink? I'm like, it's Lent. You said you gave up alcohol. She goes, well, I can drink water. I said, I don't drink. She's like, oh, I forgot about that. I'm like, want to get something to eat? So we went downtown and got something to eat.
Well, good for you. So now, who is this broad?
I don't know. I just met her on a dating site, and, like, within a day of meeting her, she's like, we should hang out sometime. I'm like, all right. I was like, I'm not used to him being this forward this quick. Or really being this forward.
Okay,
yeah, she's been...
This is one of two things, Robert. She's either a lunatic or she's the future ex-Mrs. Robert Cooper.
I don't know. We'll see. She doesn't like anime, heavy metal, cats, porn movies.
Wow.
Like it's really...
I was going to
like,
say,
funny.
and
She's
of all
like,
that, the cat's the deal breaker, right?
It is. She's like, how many do you have? 12? She's like, 12? I'm like, yeah, no way. I'm like, I mean, I claim to. She goes, okay, so you don't have 12 cats. I'm like, I mean, kind of. I live with my parents, and I'm like, oh, there's two things to say to a girl in a park. I have 12 cats, and I live with my mom.
And is there going to be a second date? Is there going to be a second date after that winner of a line?
Oh, yeah, I told her. I think so. That was like at the beginning. The thing that was really funny about it was, so she pulls up to my car, and we're just in there talking. And she just made just some sort of motion. I'm like, oh, do I need to get out of the car? She's like, well, I do have to get up at 5 in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, why did you just tell me to get out your damn car? She goes, well, I didn't know. How do you say it? I'm like, you can just like, I thought you were just going to be like, all right, well, let me just walk you to your car. She's like, well, then it'd be obvious. I'm like, no, I'd do it to you.
Jesse,
I got a hug. That's good.
You got, well,
that is good. That is good.
Coop, you said she's waiting for Jesus?
She's waiting for Jesus. She's really Catholic.
Yeah, you're going to have to, like, tomorrow, go down to the courthouse and become Jesus Cooper. And just be like, I arrived, baby.
Roberto.
You're like, hola, me llamo Jesus.
Roberto.
Always has a little mustache.
Copero.
Roberto Jesus Copar.
So, Jesus, we're talking about... Yeah, that's your new name, by the way. So listen, Jesus, we're talking about Rumahoy here. As usual, you're late to the party. We're almost done. You want to just quick weigh in 50 words or less with what you thought of the album up to and including Netflix and Yarr?
Actually, yesterday, because I'm a manager now, that's cool. It's only for like 4 months, but I'm a manager. That's, yeah. So I can't eat lunch with anybody else, like any of the associates anymore, just because it's, like if I hear something, I got to go tell the people, and I don't want that to be a thing. So, I was just sitting in there listening to the new Rumahoy, and I took notes, but I left them in the manager's office. So, I feel that as a band, they're really fun. They've got a good gimmick going. They really need to stick to it. Like when they have that one slow song, was it the 4th track? It was after the fucking Haitian Slam, which I was like, oh, that's a rip-roaring song. Like the next song, I was like, okay, like you guys do not need to be doing like slow ballady songs.
You're referring to Huffman the Pirate King.
No.
Yeah, it's one of those.
You've got to be referring to Netflix. No?
Oh, no. Huffman the Pirate King was... I was just like, okay. I'm like, you guys, like, I can tell you're just having fun, but, like, yeah. I was like, instrumentally, you're not really technical enough to make it interesting. I just kind of thought it was And I thought Netflix and Yarr was a funny song. I felt like it was breaking the gimmick up a little, though. Like, they're pirates. Why do they care about Netflix? Why the fuck are there trolls? I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, when the fuck did we get pirates and trolls?
You just missed that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, it's one of those, because they're all Scottish, by the way. They're not even from Ocracoke, North Carolina.
They aren't?
I think that's just part of, no, you look at where all the guys in the band are from, it's Scotland. They're Scottish, I think.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, really? No.
Or they're from at least, I think so, yeah. Well, they're from Ocracoke, because, pirates. But no, like, I get the gimmick, and I think it's funny. I'm just like, guys, why did you? And they also rhymed rum with rum on one song. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did you rhyme? I was like, the songwriting geniuses they are not.
No. The lyrics leave a lot to be desired if you want to jump in and try and analyze it.
I mean, it's silly.
No.
It's silly. It's supposed to be silly.
These lyrics are hysterical. I've really been
that.
enjoying this.
Well, I'm sure you do, Netflix and Yarr, which is irony considering that's the song I came into after having a hot day where it was really funny because we sat outside even though it's like 50 degrees and rainy. But they have like a little area. It's more or less like plasticed off with a heater above us. But right beside us was this girl's 30th birthday party, and it was like a whole bunch of people. And we kept occasionally getting the side eye. I'm like, I could stare at him. I'll stare him down. I will assert my dominance.
So, did you invite her to Netflix and Yarr tonight?
I did not.
You
Hey,
should.
I got a story to tell real quick, all right? I didn't understand what Netflix and chill meant.
It means come over to my house and fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah. Get
All
your
right?
fuck
You
on.
wanna know Let me tell you a little something about how I found out.
Wait, can I sing a little
Uh-oh.
bit? Can I just
No.
can I sing a little bit? Get your fuck
What?
on. Get your fuck on. Get your fuck on. All right, go ahead.
All right. So I'm on Facebook, and my cousin, all right? My cousin.
Vinny?
He puts a post on there. Yeah, my cousin Vinny. He posts a picture of his dog. And he puts on there that he can't wait to get home to Netflix and chill with his dog. And
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Taking
Lordy.
the D train down to Pound Down.
Oh no! Leave that.
Oh
dog
no!
alone.
Not that Pound Town.
Doesn't he understand? That's very funny, Robert. Doesn't he understand that the dog can't give consent? We've been over this, Ronnie Adams.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Ronnie Adams. Wait a minute. Weed pecker.
Goat penis.
Goat moon.
I hop on there and I'm like, okay, because some guy says, "What the fuck, man?" He put it in the comments. Like, what the fuck, man? And so I'm like, well, I didn't understand what it meant either. Okay, it's not like I'm not so hip on the old lingo. So I was like, all right, so something's going on here, and immediately I went and Googled it to find out what that meant. Learned something brand new, and know that I'm not going to use the term ever again on social media, such as the way that my cousin did. So very interesting tale.
Did anyone ever hip him to the fact that if he Netflix and chills with his dog, someone's going to call the ASPCA?
I don't even remember how he tried to turn this around on somebody, because he was like, "Man, your head's in the gutter." I'm like, "Well, motherfucker, that saying's been around for a little while."
I'm like you're the one talking about putting your head in the dog. So I'm just saying.
Oh no!
Yeah.
And I was
by the way, this all
sorry.
reminds me from a great story from this date that you guys will love. I was just talking about, like, 12 cats, and I was right after I said 12 cats, and I looked at my mom, she goes, "Yeah, wow, your life sounds like you could do a really good stand-up bit." I just went, ouch. She's like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it just must be that pathetic." She's like, "Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that." I'm like, "That's pretty goddamn funny. I'm going to be using that one in the stand-up bit."
I was going to say, stand-up bit, have you heard my podcast?
Actually, I dropped she's like, "You're a really quirky person." She's like, "You're into a lot of interesting stuff." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Heavy metal and anime and foreign movies." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, don't forget Japanese wrestling." She's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Oh, and I do a podcast about heavy metal." She goes, "Podcasts?" I was like, the more I think about it, I guess I am a weird dude.
You ever get that reaction from people where, like, you tell them you do a podcast and they think, like, you're doing magic? Like, podcast? How do you do a podcast? I've never heard of such a thing. You must be a wizard. That's like, nope.
Girl,
You're a wizard.
a girl.
It's like,
She asked
yeah,
me.
he's like, oh, you're a wizard. So I love when, like, oh, you do a podcast? Yeah, I really love podcasts. I'm like, well, what podcast do you listen to? I listen to this one. I'm like, oh, you listen to those podcasts? I'm good.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Because I'm like, I do heavy metal podcasts and listen to every podcast about anime I can find.
I got a girl that asked me at work. She goes, "How do you make money doing podcasts?" It's like, you fucking tell me. I don't know.
when I figured that out,
somebody
I'll let
asked
you know.
me. They're like, "Oh, have you made any money off of it?" I'm like, well, my the guy that hosts it, Mark, he's made like $10 in 10 years."
Every 6 months.
Really, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he told us he got a check for 49 cents. So I was like, wow, we're moving up, guys.
The last check I got was for almost $30, and that was after like 4 or 5 months. You know, look,
Shortly after Blog Talk laid off half their customer service staff,
half their IT.
You know what kills me? So I actually got a personal like email from one of the staff people at Blog Talk Radio asking me specifically why after 12 years I was leaving. And it was funny because like I said, look, here are all the problems I've been having, and I said after 12 years I don't feel like your service is getting better. I feel like it's getting worse. And we've just had too many problems too close together for me to continue to give you guys money and not get a good service. So I'm moving to Spreaker. She was like, because Spreaker doesn't have these kinds of failures, and I put a lot of time and energy into these podcasts. I don't want to have to constantly have problems and have my podcast ruined. She was like, yeah, Spreaker's a great system. We merged with them a while back. And I'm like, shit. I essentially just broke up with my wife and accidentally dated her twin sister.
You're like, great. We're fucked.
Yeah, I didn't realize well, you don't look alike, so clearly you're fraternal twins, but yeah, clearly you're actually sisters. Fuck me.
Well, somebody will.
But so far so good. We've had a couple of shows here on Spreaker and they've gone well. So I don't know. Other than the server issue, I don't know what separates Blog Talk Radio from Spreaker and why Spreaker is so much better than Blog Talk Radio.
Well, the audio quality.
Yeah, but that never really bothered me. What always bothered me about Blog Talk Radio is that it felt like these podcasts were connected by a flimsy bridge, and that bridge was constantly shattering. So, all right. Speaking of shattered bridges, you want to hear another song? Hurry! By the way, Robert,
Maybe.
you've already missed it. I played like 3 songs off of YouTube, in separately from what I'm playing off of Spotify. This is dangerous. I can derail an entire podcast now just clicking on YouTube like a monkey.
But doesn't it often feel nice to have a penis?
Isn't it awfully nice to have a penis?
Cue it up there. Before we killed the trolls, we destroyed all the orcs, Robert Cooper.
Oh, I fucking love that song.
It's a great song. All right, let's go ahead and hear our second to last song of the evening. This is Pirate Ship.
That'll be a no for me, dog.
Das ist mein pirate ship. Ich bin ein Pirate und das ist mein Schiff. Ich wohne in der Caribbean Sea. Ich esse Fleisch und ich trinke Rum. Und ich mutter gern Wenches. Wir haben eine Map zu der Treasure. Das ist mein Lieblingsquest. Ahoi, meinen Shipmate. Achtung mit der Kanne. Aufrichten der Jolly Roger. Ja. Ja. Das ist mein Pirate Ship. Ja. Ja. Das ist mein Pirate Ship. Treasure Quest mit der Bass. Pete ist der Schlagzeugspieler. Der ist viele Chips auf dem See. Und der Pilot Leben ist für mich. Wenn der Quest mit Treasure ist kaputt, ich will trinken Rum von das Boot. Sailing on the ocean, sailing on the sea. Sailing on a ship is the life for me. Sailing on the ocean, sailing on the sea. Sailing on a ship is the life for me.
How do you... I don't get it. How do you not love that song? That's the best.
Ich bin Mark. Ich bin Robert. The pirate guy.
I've never seen such a beautiful blend of like folk metal and club dancing that produces such wonderful quality music. I love that. I heard Robert go yuck right before we lost him, and I had to bring him back. I don't get your point, sir.
That reminded me of, I don't know, it's one of those that I get it. I mean, it's a fun song. It very much reminds me of Teresa's, especially that last album. I think it was 2014 maybe. I listened to them. Really had kind of that Euro pop, like a folk infused Euro pop in a way. It was just all right. It was just one of those. I thought it was really weird. Like
weird is
like,
good.
I don't know. Well, it's one of these guys. I feel like these guys are breaking the gimmick a little.
See, here's the thing. You know, and as much as I love Ailstorm...
They're breaking kayfabe.
As much as I love Ailstorm, Ailstorm can sometimes get a little samey here and there. Not tremendously. It's so swashbuckle, but which we also played earlier, by the way. But what I love about Rumahoy, what I love about the Triumph of Piracy overall, is that every single one of these songs is distinctive. Whether it's the singing style or the musical style, every single one, like... Every single one of these has its own personality to it, and that's why I've enjoyed this so much. Like we listen to so much music, and we've talked about so much music over the last couple of years. A lot of it tends to run together. None of this runs together, and maybe that in and of itself may not strike you as a reason to call something good, but it works for me. I'm totally dig this album, and
oh yeah. And I agree with that. It is, as I was listening to it, I'm like, well, I definitely can't say that these songs are the same. Like, you know, like the first track was your intro to the gimmick, like it really was. It was very much just like, yeah, here's it had almost with that, it had like a Gwari feel to it, like that they were characters in a way.
Yeah, I described the singing style there as throaty. You want to weigh in here, Jesse?
I was going to say they feel like they're very aware of the genre they're in and the fact that, you know, they don't want to be just another copy of what Ailstorm is. So their flavor is to really mix it up a little bit. You know, when this song hits, I'm like, whoa, where in the fucking Pacific Ocean did this come from? Because this is
that is my pirate ship.
It took me by surprise, and I don't know how to even describe some of the hilarity of listening to him do half of the song practically in English and half of it in German, and which it is German, right? Am I right in saying the language here? Because when I hear Das Ich, I assume this is like German. Okay,
we're going with German, yes.
We'll go with German. But regardless, I mean, at some point, right before you cut it off, it sounded like he was just throwing pirate words together, like Yarr, ahoy, my sheep, and it was just like one lyric of nothing but pirate reference yet again. But yeah, their goal, I believe, is to stay as unique as possible. They're going to be Rumahoy. They're going to be as diverse as they want to be. So I didn't shudder when I heard this song. It just took me by surprise. And I was like, okay, I mean, I can dig it. It's way different from the rest of the catalog of what we got on this album, but that's all right.
like I said, I loved it. I can't get enough of this song and this album. But we are sailing.
We are
sailing. Let's do the Haitian slam. We are sailing towards the end of the album here. This is our longest track of the night at about 10 minutes, 16 seconds. We're going to cut that puppy in half-ish. This is our title track. Oh, hang on. Yes, sir?
Yeah, before you go off into mute land here, I want to tell you guys that I want your opinion. When we listen to these vocals, tell me if I'm incorrect in at least saying they sound like David Hasselhoff. Okay?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our last track of the night, our title track. This is Rumahoy's The Triumph of Piracy. All right, it just kind of fades out there, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it fades back in again. I got to step away from a second, guys. Jesse, why don't you go ahead and give your thoughts?
All right. Well, that sucker's 10 minutes long, and it really kind of puts a bell on how I mentioned earlier that some of this stuff can feel a little bit repetitive. Not a bad song in my opinion. If you're really kind of, I would say, sensitive. That's the word I'm looking for. If you're sensitive to something that just gets repeated over and over and over, this possibly could drive you insane. The second half of this song I think it's a lot of fun still, because you get pretty much what you heard that just faded out, but then you have a huge guitar solo, and then the guys come back in and sing us out. So it's a good way to end the album, in my opinion. I mean, you put your longest song at the end. I swear that's David Hasselhoff. I tweeted the guy tonight. I tweeted David Hasselhoff. I tweeted him, and I asked him, I said, "Sir, did you do vocals on the Rumahoy album?" I said, all I want is a yes or no. And then I put the link to the song there. But as for something to take us out, like I said, I think it's just as good. I'm still enjoying it. I put it on tonight, as a matter of fact. When I went to go do some laundry, I was like, hey, I got 10 minutes to fold these clothes. Throw on this final song on the album. I dug it. So, Mark?
Yeah, I look, I'm going to go ahead and give my final thoughts on the whole album at large. I really loved this album. It's my favorite of the year so far. It's really the first one I can say that I was like super excited about after giving it a listen. It did take a little bit of time for me. Yeah, actually, I see your tweet, buddy. That's funny.
I want an answer, damn it. David Hasselhoff, get in touch.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this album an A. I really dug it. I thought they did a great job with it. It's one of the most interesting albums we've heard in a while. It's a lot of fun. It's heavy in places. It's just straight fun in places. It's good stuff. Robert?
Oh boy, that's me. Yeah, this final track, I did really like that they were able to more or less just have a 5-minute musical interlude, which I didn't think was really possible. Not saying these guys are bad musicians. They were just kind of keeping it safe in some ways. I did love this final track, and really am interested in seeing if that was the singer of the band, because if he can sing like that, why would he sing like I swallowed a frog?
I swallowed a fly. I don't know why. Perhaps she'll die. All right.
Yeah, but do I need to give my final grade?
Yes.
We should probably end the show, yes.
We should, yeah. So, yeah, for me, this album, like, the more I listen to it, the more I love it. Like, you have no idea how many days I walked into work playing Forest Party, because it's really catchy. It's like the Clap, except it ends up a lot better. So, like, for me, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5. It's not my favorite. You know my favorite. It's probably going to be Orphan Land. Like, that band, that album, just like, oh, fucking my heart. It's a really fun album. I do feel they break the gimmick a little bit, but when you were talking about they were different, I do agree, and that is actually really important, because there's not many pirate metal bands. You get Swashbuckle, which they're all right. Nailstorm are fun, but they get sometimes when they do serious, it's just a little like,
How's it go again?
Sometimes it just kind of it goes. It's just kind of it loses the luster a little, if that makes sense. But fuck, like Rumahoy was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it to some people. It's really engaging. I feel like it's fun party music in a way, which metal is not fun party music. I was hanging out with some friends that I hadn't seen in literally 5 years, and they were playing country, and I was sitting there miserable mentally, like Yeah, well, I mean, no, I was having a lot of fun. Met this dude named Joey. He's Australian. Real fucking dude. Cool dude. But,
He's a kangaroo.
Like once, I didn't think to make that joke until
Damn
later.
it!
Well, because I didn't know he was Australian until he started drinking. Then the accent came out. He's like, because he has like a California thing going. But he's like, yeah, I try to hide it because he's like, because I don't want people like jumping because chicks dig him. Dude's like a tattooed, bodybuilding Australian mechanic. Like that's pretty much like hits everything women want these days. I mean, besides having 12 cats living with your mother and having a CD collection. I mean, yeah, retail manager. That's even better. Even fucking better. But yeah, just overall, just really fun album. And I eventually did play metal at that. Did play some metal over at that party. Got some Corpiclani, some Hailstorm, some little bit of Tool going on. It was a good fucking time. But yeah, really enjoyed this album. 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5, one of those two.
Okay, I think we lost Jesse. And 1 second here. You still there, Rob?
What?
Are you still there?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, good. I think we lost.
Yes.
I think we lost Jesse momentarily. The joys of Skype.
Netflix and Yarr.
Netflix and Yarr.
Which is just so funny. Which, by the way, so just because was texting this girl and I'm like, we should do a second date. She's like, totally. I remember asking her. She's like, I'm saving it for Jesus. I'm like, well, how far do you go? She's just like, well, just no P in the V and we're good. I'm like, cool. I was like, have I sent you this? You've listened to Garfunkel and Oates before, right? Have you heard of them?
Garfunkel and Oates?
Yes.
No.
Okay, it's two women that have their own musical comedy duo, and they're fucking hilarious. They have a song called the Loophole, and I'm just going to have to send it to you two because
is it about the butthole?
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah, they have that. They have a Pregnant Women Are Smug, which is just kind of funny. There was another one. It was called Plan Job Hand Job. It's like, I never made it that. It's like I always just skipped over the hand job. So what do you do with it? That's more or less what the song is. I was like, you know what? I have a cat trying to break into here. What do you want, Speedy? But yeah, I'll have to send that. You two will enjoy it. And I was listening to it in the break room one day, and it was a very explicit part comes in, and this one new chick walks in, and she's just like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Hey," she's like, "I'm cool. You're good. Keep going." If only that woman was single.
All right, I think we've.
But she's in the.
Go ahead,
You're
finish
good.
up.
Jesse. No, I was just going to say, she's a professor in stop-motion animation and loves heavy metal. I mean, what's there not to love? But yeah, so I guess we lost Jesse, and do we need to do plugs?
He said give me 1 more second, so go ahead and do your plugs.
Okay, there's this podcast. I'm on it. It's pretty cool. Centaur Rider Podcast. I am on it, and it doesn't come out at facebook.com. Centaur Rider Podcast. It is SENTAIRIDER Podcast. W2net.com. My buddy Sean. It's his site. We share content with him. They're pretty cool. Love those guys. They release most of their content nightly now just because the editors all work during the day. But it's all good. That's cool. That's neat. And then scrapingthebottom.com. It's my buddy Kevin. It's a podcast. I was on it once. There was cake. There was a dumpster fire. I had a guy take a swing. I had one of the hosts take a swing at me when I started making references to Roots because he's black. Well, he didn't. He didn't really take a swing at me. He was just kind of like doing like the little play punch. I'm like, "Your name is Toby," and he was just like, "What the fuck, man?" Because I asked him because he took over my spot on the Three Beards. I said, "Why didn't you call yourself the Blackbeard?" He's like, "We just never got that." I'm like, "Come on, man. That was easy. That was the easy one."
That's racist. All right. All right. Yeah. I think we're done with Jesse for the night. He's having some sort of an internet issue. I don't really know what happened. So let's just let's start to close up shop here. Next week here on the Metal Hammer of Doom, we're going full throttle into March. As many changes as there's been, with the calendar in the next couple of months. March has stayed pretty solid. Next week is Andrew WK, You're Not Alone. The following week is Ministry, America Can't. The following week after that is Judas Priest, Firepower. And we close out the month of March with The Sword, Used Future. Oh, hey, you're back.
Pirates they live and pirates they die. Motherfucking internet. Jeez.
Just doing plugs here, buddy. Next week, here on the Rattlelegend Broadcasting Network, we've got Alexis Haina from Honeysuckle Rose Creations on the Source Material Podcast, just in time for Women's Week or Women's Day, National Women's Day. We're doing Mockingbird Volume 2, My Feminist Agenda, Calm Down, Neckbeards. And then the return of Damn You Hollywood. We'll be doing the remake of Death Wish. As I said, Andrew WK's You're Not Alone. And then we'll be doing an on trial for the month of March. It's our one of two on trials for the month of March. This one being the original Death Wish with Charles Bronson. All right, Jesse, go ahead and do your plugs and let's get the hell out of here.
All righty. I'm glad I made it back to make sure we...
And did we lose you again?
I'm glad.
Hang on, Jesse.
There's faint signs of life.
He just wrote fuck.
That's all I'm going to... Okay. Now, I'll try my best. I will try my best.
Quick, just speed round.
Ladies and gentlemen, go give that Rattlelegend Broadcasting Network Facebook page a like. Since we moved over to Spreaker, maybe you're not too used to know where you... Maybe you can't find us anywhere. I don't know. Do you like Blog Talk? If you were part of Blog Talk, we're not there anymore. So you can find us... You can find us over on the Facebook page for the Rattlelegend Broadcasting Network. That's where we're going to shove all our links. But we're still on iTunes. We're still on Stitcher? Titular? Yeah. All right.
Pinterest.
And Pinterest. And apparently at one point the network was on Grindr. We won't go there, though. But
well, I mean, there's pretty much a bunch of dudes.
Well, yeah. According to the demographics, maybe that's where we belonged. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, check that out there. Source Material, the podcast that I do. I know Mark just talked about what's coming up and what's probably dropped on there. It's just some guys hanging out talking about a comic book story. And if you dig that, we have 150 some episodes you can go back and check out. So
don't be sexist. It's a couple of guys and a girl. One token girl.
Yes, one token girl. That's right. Yeah, we've had a couple guest spots on here the past couple days, so you can check that out. Other than that, I'm ready. Before my internet shits itself again, you can follow me at Citizenarchy on Twitter. We have a Twitter for the Source Material Podcast at SourceMattCast. David Hasselhoff, buddy, I'm still waiting. Let me know.
All right, guys. It's been fun. We had another successful show. This week we actually started more or less on time. And, outside of the occasional lapse of internet, we made it through. So, yay, we're 2 for 2. We are hot to trot, and we're going to keep on sailing, along with Rumahoy. For the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper, maybe the next time he comes on the show after a date, he'll have gotten laid. We'll never know. For the disapproving dad, Jesse Starcher, this has been the Metal Hammer of Doom. Be well, be safe, and behave.